Welcome back. Well, schools all across the country are disrupted due to COVID-19. The situation is requiring teachers, education support professionals, known as ESPs, and other educators to provide not only online lessons, but technical support, food deliveries, and so much more. Joining us now with details on how they're keeping their people safe and supported is Becky Pringle. She is the vice president of the NEA, which is the National Education Association. Good morning to you, Becky.
Good morning, Tiffany. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's talk about the NEA and the support that it's providing to educators, to students, to parents during this pandemic.
Well, first and foremost, Tiffany, we're working with our members all across the country and right there in Wisconsin to keep our students and our educators safe. That's number one. And we are also making sure that everyone knows that although our schools may be closed, learning continues.
Absolutely. And I think there's challenges to that continued learning. So let's talk about some of the issues that are coming up with distanced learning.
So, Tiffany, it's no surprise that there is a digital divide in this country that has existed for far too long. What the coronavirus pandemic has done is it has shined the light on what has already been in place and this country needs to address. That digital divide is real, and our students and our families and our educators are feeling it under this intense pressure to continue to do their jobs. And so we are encouraging our members and supporting them in raising their voices and being really strong advocates to get what they need as federal stimulus bills are passed. And we are actually partnering with our community in really powerful ways to ensure that our students, all of them, get the digital tools they need so they can continue their learning.
I'm assuming when you say digital divide, you're referring to differences in socioeconomic situations where, people can afford to have tablets or things like that at home through the school. Is that what you mean?
Absolutely, Tiffany. We know that we have students who do not have access to internet, either because of their socioeconomic status or because they just live in rural and remote parts of this country. We know that they do not have the digital tools like tablets. We know that they oftentimes, our most marginalized students, rely on our schools just to eat so they can learn, to feel safe and supported. They depend on the services they get at school. And now that they are at home, we are working really hard to partner with our communities to provide those kinds of services so our students can continue to learn and to grow.
Well, I know you've been focusing on the safety between students and educators, but also talk about the support you're providing for immigrant students as well and their families.
Absolutely, Tiffany. That is absolutely important. We know that our immigrant families, more than most, depend on the services at school. Right there in Milwaukee, you've done an incredible job there in partnering with educators. Our affiliate, the Milwaukee Teachers Education Association, has started community schools where they are partnering with folks like the United Way to provide those additional services for our immigrant students as well as others. In this crisis, it makes it so much more difficult to get those services to our students. But let me tell you what they're doing. They are partnering with folks within the community to provide translation and to provide instructions and materials in Spanish. They are working to ensure that all of our students get the meals they need. Our affiliate there worked very closely in the district to print up over 30,000 learning packages to deliver to our students. Our bus drivers are stepping up and delivering not only materials, but also meals. Those are the kinds of things that basic needs that we know our immigrant students need, but also our students who are living in poverty, our students with special needs, as well as our students who are disadvantaged by the inequities in the system.
I think it's so important that there's attention paid. We all deserve to be met where we're at. So thank you so much for joining us, Becky. Where can people learn more about all you talked about, as well as the Families First Coronavirus Response Act?
Thank you, Tiffany. Please go to nea.org/coronavirus, where you'll get a wealth of information, where your listeners will be able to follow the science, where they'll be able to be activists in making sure that our students get what they need and what they deserve.
Thank you. Stay healthy, Becky. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Tiffany. You too.